Hello, Joe Locklear here. I've got another property that I want to show you. It is available, located at 5247 Cleveland Road. Let's take a look at the map here. We'll zoom in. Of course, it's in the United States, state of Florida, city of Jacksonville. As we zoom in, it's here on the north side of town, inside the 295 loop, which is good, but not too close to the downtown area, so it's kind of a rural setting. Let's zoom in a little bit more. And you can see right where you are here, you can't see the roof of the house very well. I can tell you it does have a good roof on it because of the trees. But let's take a look at the street view. Okay, this is the home. It really is pretty cute. It's hard to see from this distance, but right here, this is kind of a gray brick with a little white speck in it. I mean, the colors are pretty neat, really. These two awnings need to be painted. Needs a little touch up and a pressure washing, but it's a masonry home, 1,600 square foot, 3 bedrooms, 2 full baths. Could easily be converted to a 4-bedroom if you wanted to give up the den. However, the den is very nice. It's about 20 foot by 20 foot. It has a screen room on the back. Let's see if we can get a little angle here and move around. Let's see. Here's the home next door. As you can see, it's nice, well maintained. Good solid neighborhood here. Okay, that kind of gives you a look at the area, a look at the neighborhood. Let's take a look at the actual home. This is the front, the exterior. You can kind of see the brick accents that I was talking about. I think when we paint these, we'll paint them a gray to pick this up. Pretty attractive home. Okay, let's take a look a little closer. This is just a little different angle. There is an addition back here. Everything's masonry, even the addition. You can tell the way these pipes are insulated that whoever did this, they did a good job on the addition and on adding the extra bath, because it looks like they met code about everywhere. I believe this home was foreclosed on a reverse mortgage, and I believe that whoever mortgaged this house put a lot of money in the improvements. Just another front view. There's kind of a close-up of the brick. I don't know. I know I keep talking about it, but it's just kind of a neat feature on this house. Here's the air conditioner. It's still there, still working. The electric meter, it has a 200 amp service coming in and going out. Here is the service in the hallway. It is 200 amp. In fact, I believe the water and the power are on at this house. Okay, as we're coming on around the back of the house, here is the screen room. Now, this is the side. There is a shed back here that's about 3/4 torn down. It won't be any good anymore, so we're just going to demo it. This home won't get much paint, just some touch up and some pressure washing on the exterior. Now we're all the way around the house. Looking back, there is a covered carport area. Huge driveway paved all the way back into here. We'll pressure wash that real good. This is looking from the screen room, looking out, side yard, rear yard. Now we've stepped into the living room. Actually, the entry is over here, kind of this direction. Then you can go straight back into the den and one of the baths, or you can go to the right into the living room. So I'm standing in the living room looking into the dining room. Of course, these dark colors and this one ceiling that's painted, all that is going to be repainted light colors. We go with our standard colors on everything. This will have to be totally primed and then painted. The floors are nice. They just need a little cleaning up. They're very nice hardwood floors. This is looking out to the front of the living room. A lot of pictures in this presentation because this is a big house, has a lot of rooms. This, I believe, is this is the dining room. This steps into kind of a little foyer going back to the den. Now I am standing right in the entry to the living room. You have an entry foyer that I'm standing in, and then the living room's to your right, kitchen's here, and the dining room is back this way. Pretty good layout. This is kind of a close-up of the floors. Of course, they're dirty and need to be cleaned, but they're in very good condition. Now, I am standing in, this is kind of you come in the door, there was the living room, you have a hallway, and this is just kind of a foyer. This would make a nice office for someone, kind of an expanded area here. Now, I am standing in the back door. I'm looking in to the den. This is a large den. It's about 20 foot by 20 foot. It has a closet here. Another picture of the den. And this is that same foyer. I'm looking into it now I'm standing in the front door foyer. This is looking down the hall, standing at the front door, that same foyer. I just want to take a picture of the tile to show you that it's nice tile and it's been professionally done. Ceramic tile. Here's the kitchen. Neat kitchen. This looks bad in the picture, but all that needs to be is wiped off. It's just kind of a powdery, I want to say mildew, but it'll come right off, and we'll polish that up. And these cabinets are very nice. We need to put the microwave back in. Now, these counters are granite, and it's a pretty large kitchen. I'm just showing you one wall. This is that same wall looking from over here, and there is a set of cabinets here also. Nice slate floor. This granite it's not like a laminate with a board under it. It is actually 1 inch thick solid granite. Nice granite. Here's the kitchen sink. It's a stainless undermount kitchen sink. I was able to turn on the plumbing, everything in this house. Another picture of the granite. This is a picture of this, kind of looks like a hutch, but it's actually cabinets in the kitchen. The sink and all is over this way. And then this is going back out into the living area and the dining area. Neat house. And this is just showing you the hardwood floors. We're now going down into the bedroom corridor. There are 3 bedrooms and 1 bath back here. Carpeted in the bedroom, so they would need to be recarpeted. 1 bedroom, 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms. Nice knotty pine paneling in here. That's not paneling, I'm sorry, that's actual solid knotty pine planks. Just needs a little cleaning. And of course that's hideous carpet. It needs a decent beige carpet. With this entire house painted the same color inside, we use a chestnut color. It's a light beige, really nice. This will be a nice house. We'll keep the trim wood. Wood doesn't get dirty easy, and it's easy to maintain. See, think of this being beige and nice and clean. This would be a nice house. Okay, this is the bath that's back by the bedrooms, the hall bath. It's in decent shape. All bath pics. Now here's what I call the blue bath. This bath is back toward the den and off the living room and kitchen area. It's in very good shape, a lot of tile. You can tell someone put a lot of money in this home to remodel it maybe 10, 15 years ago, and it really shows well. That's not a good picture there. It's pretty blurry, but this is the shower. This just needs cleaning up. All the tiles are good. The home was well cared for. It just needs a ton of cleaning and some updating. Well, not a lot of updating, really, mostly just paint and cosmetics. Of course, it's a big home, so it adds up. We'll look at the construction estimate in a moment. It has a nice water heater. This is a laundry room. Has the water heater, washer and dryer, has plenty of room for an ironing board and some shelving. There is your dryer plug, and your washer connection, I believe, is right over here. But it is there. I did see it. And this is the AC unit. That closet needs a little cleaning up, and put some money in the budget to service the AC. Got it to turn on. It was cooling, but we just want to make sure it's in real good shape. Okay, that gives you an idea of the home. Let's look at some numbers. Let's begin with the construction estimate. This is the overall construction estimate. I do want to show you, normally I have this totals column over here on the right, and I want to show you that we just don't guess at these numbers. For example, to pressure wash the exterior, it'll take about 8 hours at $26.80 an hour for $214. Materials, rent on the pressure washer, and some bleach, about $150. No subcontractors, total is $364. Excuse me. So I'm not going to go into that on every one of these, but what I want to do is zoom in, because I know it may, if you're on a cell phone, it may be hard for you to see this. So I kind of want to zoom in and go through it line by line. Pressure wash the exterior, about $364. $400 in yard work. There's a bunch of trees and stuff that need to be cut back. Window repairs, $200 and something. Repaint the driveway, $254. Rear yard shed demo, $362. Touch up the exterior paint and paint the awnings, $364. You need to add a handrail at the rear door. When you have 3 steps or more, you need a handrail to meet minimum property standards. We're going to put a new micro hood in the kitchen. A little bit of tile repair at 1 threshold. Ceramic tile in the laundry. The laundry is linoleum. I hate linoleum. Everything else has good floors in all the areas of the house. It's carpet in the bedrooms, but everywhere else it's hardwood or ceramic tile. So let's put ceramic tile in the laundry. Clean floors and walls, that white powdery kind of dust that you saw, all that needs to be cleaned off. Everything shined up real good, and that's beyond the scope of just a regular house cleaner, so I put some money in there for that. Carpet replacement, about $1,600, because you have that big den and the 3 bedrooms. We're going to prep and paint the interior walls. I've got over $2,000 for that. The reason I've got so much, normally it's about $1,200 or $1,300, is they've got that eggplant color, that dark purple color in there, and that's going to have to be totally sealed. We'll probably use pigmented shellac to seal that, or else we'll be putting on a lot of coats of paint. And we don't want to do that because it kind of gunks it up, makes it look bad. I put $300 in. I do this on every job just for miscellaneous electrical fixtures. Same thing for plumbing, $300 miscellaneous, $200 for the final clean. Now there are always little things like doorknobs, things you didn't see, little mirrors. $500 I put in for miscellaneous work that's not in the categories we've gone through. Then I put a contingency of $500. That's not for miscellaneous stuff, that's for things we don't see, because there'll be something there that I forgot or overlooked, or something that we'll see later. So there should be plenty of money in there. That puts my cost, now all these numbers are my contracting cost, at $91.58. We mark everything up 20% for profit and overhead, so the markup would be $1,831.64 for a total year rehab cost of $10,989.84. Okay, so that gives you an idea of the construction cost, about $11,000. So let's take a look at the bottom line. Let's see what all this means to you and to your return, whether it's in your IRA or you're just investing from a savings account. Doesn't matter. I want to show you what this investment actually looks like. Now this area over here is a 10-year projection. We'll look at that last. Over here shows the purchase price, rehab cost, all of that. We put 5% in for vacancy, 5% for maintenance, put a management fee in, put the actual real estate tax, which is very low on this one. The projected 2015 tax is only $42 a month. So, and this kind of shows you the bottom line. So let's zoom in and go through this. We'll go through quickly, but I do want you to see it because it's important. We're going to go a line at a time. Okay, purchase price. I'll sell you this home for $33,900. That's as is. We can rehab it for about $10,900, and you're going to have about $1,000 in closing costs and interim insurance, builder's risk insurance, while it's being rehabbed. That would put you in with a total basis of about $45,800. So your total investment in this home would be about $45,800. So you need to make sure you've got that much cash. What will it appraise for? I don't have a clue. This is a wag or a wild guess. 55,000. I mean, based on income, it should be more than that. So that's what I'm putting. Rent, $885. I feel real good about that. If you want to convert the den to a fourth bedroom, you can probably get $950 without a problem. I've got one, I get $935, and it's not as big, and the neighborhood's not as nice. But I kind of like this one with the den because it's easier to rent. A 4.2 on HUD gets a little more wear and tear too because you've got a bunch of kids. So I have nothing against children, but I don't want 14 of them in my rental house. So you could get more rent. I like the idea of this one. It's a very livable house, great plan, floor plan. I like this one as a 3.2 with that big den. I think you'd keep it rented with no problem and probably get a little more than this rent. I always put a 5% vacancy and a 5% reserve for maintenance and 10% for management. I don't suggest anyone manage their own properties. I don't even manage my own properties. Okay. Here's the actual real estate tax, about $42 per month and $60 for property insurance. So what does that mean? We're going to skip over this finance information because this is pretty much cash deal. You're going to be in at $45,800 as your investment. Your return on investment, a whopping 15.88%. Okay, that is a really, really good return. I can tell you we got a fantastic buy on this house. We bought it from our #1 supplier. He is a real estate processor. He works for the banks, processes the foreclosures, known him for years, and he called us on this deal. It is a great deal. Okay. Your monthly spendable income about $606. Your equity about $55,000. That's about what I'm saying it's worth. Just as an investment, a normal cap rate's 10%. That makes this house worth about $72,000 based on a cap rate. So this is a very good investment at $45,800. Okay, let's go over and just look at some numbers on the breakdown. I've kind of shown you amounts, but let's look at the actual numbers. Monthly rent, $885. This is your reserves for maintenance and for vacancy, 5%, $42 for taxes, $60 for insurance, and $88.50 for management. Those are your allowances. That puts your net operating income at $606 a month. That is a very, very good income, very good return. Okay, let's take a look at the 10-year projections. Now, I've put in a 2% factor for appreciation here. Now, that means that your rent would be increased by 2% every year. That's very conservative. But your expenses would go up by 2% also. Now, many people would say, hey, that's a wash. Well, it's not really a wash because your expenses are less than your rent, so you have a net increase. Your net increase would be about $618. That would be your rent the second year, $630, $643, and in 10 years your rent would be at about $765 a month. I didn't calculate that return, but I guarantee you it's up there around 20%, 18-20%, and your equity has grown from 55 to 67. Okay, this is also a nice home that could be resold. So, this is a good, solid investment, very solid investment. So if you have an interest in this one, I would say you want to get a hold of us very quick because the numbers on this one are fantastic. Excuse me. This home should be available, I'm going to say, for about 30 minutes after the email goes out. And I'm not just trying to tell you that. I want to be honest with you. So if you call me and you call me the next day or maybe even the next hour, this one may be gone because it is a very, very good investment. I really like this house. So you can contact us. I'm Joe Locklear. Here is my phone number, my email. My son and partner is Adam Locklear. Here is his phone number, and his email. So you might want to pause this video, write them down, give me a call, and tie this one up. This would be a great IRA property or a great cash investment. Hey, thanks for listening to me, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.